Finally, January 2023 numbers are in. We're going to be looking at Milton and Oakville with a deep dive into the different types of homes that we're going to see in the market. So let's go. For Milton, for all homes in Milton in January 2023, we've seen a decrease in sales, average selling price, and the number of new listings compared to the same time last year in January 2022. Sales decreased by over 51% from 131 in January last year to 64 this year. Average selling price decreased by over 16% from 1.25 to around 1.055. And there was a decrease in new listings by around 23% from 186 listings in January 2022 to 142 this year. Also, we've seen an increase in the days on market. Homes were available for longer in January this year. On average, January 2022, homes were on the market for 7 days compared to 25 days in January 2023. Now, going in depth, for detached homes in Milton in January 2023, there was a decrease in sales. Again, sales, average selling price, number of new listings compared to the same time last year. Sales decreased by around 40%, from 51 to 28. Average selling price decreased by over 15% from 1.5 to around 1.3. And there was a decrease in new listings from 76 to 68 this year, and that's a drop of 10%. Homes were available for longer in January this year. Last year, they were on the market for 7 days compared to 29 days. For semi-detached, same trend as well. Decrease in sales, decrease in average selling price, and a decrease in the number of new listings compared to the same time last year. Sales went down by 61%. Average selling price decreased by around 28% from an average of 1.29 to 929,000. There was a decrease in new listings this January by over 64%, from 17 last year to 6 this year. And homes were on the market for 22 days this year compared to 5 last year. For townhomes, there was a decrease in sales as well, average selling price and number of listings. Sales went down by 50% from 42 homes to 21 this year. Selling price went down by almost 19% from 1.155 to an average of 930,000 this year. There was a decrease in number of listings from 64 last year to 41 this year. That's a decrease of around 35%. And homes were on the market for longer. It went up from 5 days last year to 11 days on average this year. Condos in Milton went through a decrease in sales and average selling price. Sales decreased by over 53% from 15 in January to 7 in January 2023. Selling price went from an average of 710 to a low of 650,000. There was an increase in number of listings by 29% from 17 to 22 this year, but they have been on the market for longer, 46 this year compared to 13 last year. Going down to Oakville for January this year, there was a decrease in sales and average selling price compared to the same time last year. Sales decreased by over 25% from 163 in January 2022 to 122 this year. Average selling price decreased by over 23% from around an average of 1.8 last year to an average of 1.38 this year. There was an increase in new listings this January by over 17% from 240 to 281. Homes were available for longer this January compared to last year, where they're saying on the market for 36 days on average compared to 12 last year. Now going into detail, for detached homes in Oakville, there was a decrease in sales and average selling price compared to the same time last year. Sales decreased by over 22% from 79 to 61. Average selling price decreased by over 28% from an average of 2.5 to around 1.788. There was an increase in new listings, however, by 17% from 122 last year to 143 this year. But days on market, as per the trend, has been trickling upwards from 13 days last year to 37 days this year. For semi-detached homes in Oakville, there was a decrease in sales, average selling price, and number of new listings compared to the same time last year. Sales decreased by over 14%. Average selling price decreased by 25%. and the number of listings decreased by 36%. Homes were available on the market for much longer, comparing 29 days this year compared to 5 days last year. Going down to townhomes, in January 2023, there was a decrease in sales and average selling price compared to the same time last year. Sales decreased by over 33% from 30 to 20. Average selling price decreased by over 28% from 1.4 to around 1.03. However, there was an increase in the number of new listings, going up from 40 last year to 43 this year. And homes on market, on average, went up from 7 days last year to 30 days. For condominiums in Oakville, there was an increase in average selling price and inventory compared to the same time last year. Sales, however, decreased by 17%, going down from 29 sales to 24 this year. And as I said, average selling price went up by 16%, from 839 to 975. There was an increase in new listings in January by over 55%, going up from 40 to 62. However, homes were available on the market for longer, averaging 17 days last year compared to 52 days this year. That's the summary for this month. We will be back for next month's comparisons and figures, and we'll talk to you then.